Hey y'all, welcome to Fitting and Homemaking. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. If you're not new, thanks for coming back and watching multiple videos. If you are not new and you have not subscribed, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell so that you can see whenever I post new content. Right now, I'm not posting super regularly, but I am trying to get back to doing about a video per week. So that notification bell really lets you know when I am able to post. Today's video is going to be a little bit of a shorter one because I don't have much time at home to myself right now. So we're working with what we have, but there is an experiment I've been wanting to try. It's a decluttering experiment, which may sound a little bit weird, but one thing I've been thinking about, and I have talked it over with my husband, is that right now we have 3 sets of dishes in this house. And what you can see of my kitchen is literally like a third of my entire kitchen, right? We don't have a big kitchen space. So it seems a little ridiculous to have 3 sets of dishes. One set is our everyday set. Excuse me for how loud this is. This is one of the plates. The small plate. And the bowl, I don't know if the pattern is picking up on camera, but it's got kind of like a fruit pattern around the rim here. I think you can get a box of these at like Target or Walmart. I'm pretty certain I got these in college when I moved into an apartment by myself. But that's kind of our everyday wear dishes. And when we had kids, and we do have like some kiddie size bowls and trays and plates. But sometimes they also use the bigger plastic ones and the bigger plastic bowls. My husband wanted a bigger cereal bowl. So he ended up starting to get these. And then of course the kids saw dad using them, so they wanted to use them. Since the everyday dishes are breakable, we did end up getting a collection of plastic ones, which I don't love, but it's practical and it's what the kids are used to using for now. And eventually when they learn to treat objects better and be a little bit more careful with their eating, they will graduate to normal dishes, right? So right now the plastic is just a part of our life that I don't particularly love, but it works, right? It's what works for us right now. So the other set of dishes I have is actually my grandmother's set of china that she passed down. So my grandmother passed away in, oh gosh, when was it? It was in 2019 because she passed away after I was engaged, but before I got married. So in 2019, but I have had these dishes for much longer. She had 2 sets of dishes. My sister and I are the only female grandchildren on that side of the family. So we were the ones to inherit her 2 sets of china. My sister likes the other one better. I like this one better. Worked out great. So this is the design on the dishes, and I've had these, and I used to use these when, not every day, but when I would have friends over for like a little dinner party, or on the weekends, I would make a nicer breakfast for myself and I'd pull out these dishes because I genuinely do like these dishes. I think they're beautiful. And it seems really silly just to have them hidden away. Now, these, I would not want to put them in the dishwasher, nor would I want to put them in the microwave. So it's hand wash, and just, if you can see the back, it's Coralbel, Old Ivory. I am not wearing my glasses right now. Syracuse, China, made in America, and then it has a little additional stamp. So they're nice dishes, so I don't want to ruin them with appliances that were, barely in existence then. But I've missed using these and I want to use them. So what I've been thinking about doing, and what I have discussed with my husband, and here's the plate, the small plate, and here's the bowl. The designs on the smaller ones are a little bit different. What I've discussed with my husband is getting rid of these white sets of dishes and starting to use the china, because I'm really the only one who uses the white set of dishes. My husband sometimes uses them, but he actually does like to use the plastic ones a little bit. He's a little rough on dishes. Like he uses specific knives on the plates that I wouldn't necessarily use on them. But, you know, he is an adult, so that is fine. So I think what I discussed with him is he was a little bit skeptical. He's like, yes, if you want to use those dishes, you definitely should. And it would be nice to get rid of one set of dishes because we don't need 3 sets of dishes. That seems really excessive. So what we discussed was taking the white dishes out of the cabinet, replacing them with the china that I want to use, and get use out of a beautiful thing that I have, because it does give me a little bit of joy every time I see it. And we should be using our beautiful things. We shouldn't wait for a special day to use them. At least that is kind of my philosophy. So I'm gonna take the white dishes out. I'm gonna put them on our donation shelf, but just like a big purchase that you should think about for a while, I'm gonna leave them there for, my husband and I agreed on about a month to see how it goes using these dishes, since I do not want them in the microwave or the dishwasher. We do have these 2 other bowls in here. I regularly microwave my oatmeal every single morning that I eat. So I think what I'm gonna do is just make oatmeal in one of these 2 dishes that I don't mind microwaving, because we wouldn't get rid of those because we use those as like mixing bowls, like when we're making eggs and this sort of thing. They're just useful to have. So use that and wash it right after. I've been doing really well with resetting the kitchen. So I think that is going to be reasonable to keep up with. And I will let you know how that goes. And hopefully, if you have a nice set of dishes that you are wanting to use, but you've either been too afraid to use them or you just have a different set that you have for everyday set, maybe this will give you that little push or kind of external unnecessary permission to go ahead and start using those dishes and using your beautiful items. So let me take the rest of the dishes down and put these up. Apologies, it's gonna be a little bit loud. And then we'll take these and put them on the donation shelf. And I'll check back in with you guys in about a month or so and let you know how the experiment has gone, all right? Let me unstack these. Sorry, you're gonna be staring at the back of my head for a minute. That being said, the china dishes are also much lighter than these, which will be nice when putting them back up on the shelves. All right, and since I'm still in PT for my back, I'm about to go to my appointment right after this, I am gonna take these one at a time instead of stacking them up like old Sarah pre-throwing out my back would do, all right? Gotta take a few more trips right now. All right, now it's time for the china to go into the cabinet. Exciting. All right, so I'm super looking forward to tonight when I will be able to use those dishes for the first time in a while, because like I said, I've been looking at them as something really precious because they are, but I don't really believe in not using something for that reason. Also excited that there is a platter. They were stored underneath here in this kind of blind corner. There's a platter that we can start using too. I'm not certain where I would put it up here. That's a future Sarah issue to figure out. But yeah, I'm super excited. We're gonna have spaghetti for dinner, so you know, that's not gonna be hard to wash up at all. But stay tuned. In about a month-ish from now, I will check in again with you with probably another short video and let you know how it has gone and if it's made any differences. I know that was something I meant to talk about, was that compared to the old plates, so it has a nice rim on it, which I appreciate. The old plates did have a rim on it, but this is actually the eating area. So the eating area on it is much smaller, and I am in no way trying to lose weight because I simply don't need to, right? But I know that's a thing that I've seen in a lot of vintage homemaking videos about why were people in the 1950s thinner? And they're like, well, their plates were smaller, like the functional space of the plate was smaller. So they just had smaller portions, because when you put a portion that fills up this size of plate, if it fills the plate, like your stomach recognizes it as a lot of food. But if the whole plate is this big, like the whole servable area of the plate is bigger, and you put just the portion in the center, it looks like not as much food, even though it's the exact same amount of food. What very few of those videos actually touch on is that a lot of women in the 50s smoked, and a lot of women in the 50s or like vintage era were on amphetamines prescribed to them by their doctor for dieting, because it was, how do I say this sensitively? It was, I guess the fat shaming, if we want to call it that, was way more, it was more acceptable to do that in public to people than it is now. I'm not saying it doesn't happen now, it definitely does. And people should just mind their own business, because weight does not equal health in most instances. Anyhow, that's a different soapbox. But yeah, a lot of those women were on diet pills that are now illegal. But I just think that these are beautiful. Sorry for the tangent, but that was something that I wanted to mention. So I wonder if portion sizes are going to change, or if I'm just going to be like piling stuff on the rim because I'm used to the bigger plates. Anywho, just wanted to point that out. Since these dishes are older, they are quite a bit smaller. The bowls specifically are quite a bit smaller. So if you can imagine a bowl of cereal in that bowl, here, I can even show you with these. So look at the difference in the size of that bowl, that way and then this way, right? That's a significant difference in the volume that these things can hold. So yeah, here, isn't that just a beautiful design? Anyhow, I'll stop going on and on, because this is a short video for you guys, because it is the beginning of an experiment. I'm excited to eat supper on these. And if you haven't liked and subscribed and you are interested to see the end of this experiment, please go ahead and do that. And I'll see you the next time. Bye.